Good morning, Fort Lee, and welcome to the Dr. Allen W. Sugarman Sports Complex. My name is Tommy Aquilina, welcoming you to the Fort Lee Bridgemen Athletics stream, now streaming in HD. Make sure to set your devices to 1080p to watch Jack Dorcom and the Fort Lee Bridgemen take on the Shabazz, or the Malcolm Shabazz Bulldogs. Fort Lee right back at it after a 9-4 loss at Westwood yesterday. They come back home after a two-game road trip. 4-1 on the year, again coming off a loss yesterday, looking to avenge that loss and take down the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs enter play 5-4 on the season, not a divisional foe for the Bridgemen. They are 4-1 on the year, 2-0 in division after taking a home-and-home from Dwight Morrow. That was on April 6th and 8th, and then yesterday on Friday the 10th, that 9-4 loss at Westwood. Warm-up pitches done for number 3, Jack Dorcom. Plays third base for Peter Kraljic's squad today. He's on the mound. This is his first pitching appearance of the year. He gets the start in Fort Lee's 6th game. Leading off for the black and yellow-clad Bulldogs is Kendry Aracena, and the first pitch of the morning is outside. Luke Senator, the senior, catching for Fort Lee. Dorcom's 1-0 pitch is grounded to third. And that is a 5-3 play. That's Stephen Kim at third base. Mentioned Jack Dorcom obviously on the mound. Stephen Kim at third. Luke Kim at short. Jeremiah Marrero at second base. And Stephen Kim just threw over to first base. That was Nico Sango getting the putout on that one. So again, that's 5-3, and now with one away and no one on, the pitch is cut on and missed. High fastball to Sean Gunby, and Gunby swung right under it. In the outfield for Fort Lee, it's Gabriel Lasval in left field, CJ Senator in center field, the younger brother of Luke, and then in right field, it's Jacob Greenberg as that pitch is poured in for a strike. 0-2 the count on Gunby. Called strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, and Gunby is gone. That will bring up the number 3 hitter, number 27, Eddie Vasquez, also a right-handed batter like the previous 2. That's a foul ball. 0-1 the count. Dorcom did some pitching last year for Peter Kraljic. The Bridgemen went 17-9, 6-2 in division. Dorcom again making his first appearance and first start of the year. Another foul ball. Quickly 0-2 the count as Dorcom is looking for a quick 1-2-3 inning. The 0-2 to Eddie Vasquez. That's well out of the zone. 1-2 the count. And then in the bottom of the first inning, it'll be Stephen Kim, Luke Senator, and CJ Senator for the Bridgemen. Dorcom trying to allow them to get out to an early lead. Grounded to, that's going to be third base. Stephen Kim to Nico Sango for the second time this inning. It is, in fact, a quick 1-2-3 inning for Jack Dorcom. Want to take a moment to thank our proud Fort Lee Bridgemen Athletics sponsors. You see them on your screen right now. Don't go anywhere. The bottom of the first inning is coming right up. Tommy Aquilina back here with you on the Fort Lee Bridgemen Athletics stream. Bottom of the first is now underway. That is a foul ball for Stephen Kim. Stephen Kim, number 9, leading off and playing third base today. Lifts this one high and deep to left field. Will it stay fair? No, it will not. That's a foul ball for Stephen Kim. So it's an 0-2 count on probably Fort Lee's hottest hitter to start the season. Or I guess you could say that's Luke Senator as well. But man, the start Stephen Kim is off to. 588 batting average, 1 home run, 10 RBI. Just 5 games through the year. And look out, he is hitting the helmet. I think he's going to be all right. But the helmet comes off after Stephen Kim is plunked. Plunked by number 4, Wellington Castro Jr. No intent there. Love the sportsmanship from Castro and Kim. Wellington Castro will clean up for Shabazz, so he'll lead off in the top of the second inning. A leadoff hit by pitch for Stephen Kim. So the on-base percentage continues to go up. This is Luke Senator now. Kim, then Luke Senator, and then his little brother, CJ Senator. Throw over to first, nothing doing there. Luke Senator hitting .667 on the season. My goodness. 1 home run to tie for Kim, tie for the team lead with Kim, and 9 runs batted in. Stats according to NJ.com. Castro throws over for a second consecutive time. Now Stephen Kim is going. The throw to second, not nearly in time. Picked at short by Aracena, but that's a stolen base for Stephen Kim. So a runner in scoring position for Luke Senator. It's also a 1-0 count. And they throw over to the base. A third time, checking on Stephen Kim. You don't want to take too much attention away from the batter, especially a batter as hot as Luke Senator. Kim not going. That pitch is dropped just outside of the zone for ball 2. Beautiful Saturday morning here in Fort Lee. The Bridgemen looking to come back from a loss yesterday and take down Malcolm Shabazz. Castro's pitch is, I believe, an off-speed pitch that dumps in there for a strike. 2-1 the count. No one covering the base there. Miguel Segura, number 21, is the Shabazz second baseman. Mentioned Aracena at short. And another check on the runner. Gunby is at third, Aracena at short, and then Segura, and then Acosta is at first base. That's Carlos Acosta at first. That was a ball, so it's a 3-1 count. And then in the outfield, it is Espinal in left, then Vasquez, as that pitch is fouled off. And then in right field, it is Akeem Mike. And Eddie Vasquez is doing the catching. Gene Vasquez in center. Eddie Vasquez catching Castro, who has a full count And this one is grounded to second base. That'll move the runner over. It's a 4-3 ground out for Luke Senator, so not getting a hit 2/3 of the time anymore on the year, but that will put a runner at third base for CJ Senator. CJ Senator leads the team with 11 runs batted in, hitting .526 through 5 games. Each of the first 3 Bridgemen in Pete Kraljic's lineup have gotten a hit in a majority of their at-bats and driven in at least 9. No home runs for CJ, but he's been an extra base hit machine. Fort Lee looking to strike first here on a sunny Saturday morning still. That pitch is outside. Eddie Vasquez unable to frame that one. So it's a 1-0 count on the younger Senator brother. With Stephen Kim at third, this one is fouled off. 1-1 the count. The pitcher, Dorcom, is on deck. It's Kim, Senator, Dorcom, Jacob Greenberg hitting 5th, then Luke Kim, and then it'll be Nico Sango, Jeremiah Marrero, and Gabe Lasval. There's a called strike and a 1-2 count. Castro deals up and away, and it's a 2-2 count. Two on the way. Swing and a miss. They'll complete the 2-3 play, but there are now 2 gone with a runner at third. Big pitch by Castro. So that'll bring up Dorcom, and it'll be up to him to help himself out here in the bottom of the first inning. Dorcom hitting .267 on the young season, 0 home runs, 3 RBI, as we have a meeting on the mound. Dorcom getting through a scoreless first inning as a pitcher with 1 strikeout. Now he will look to give himself the lead, and if he reaches, it'll be Jacob Greenberg. Fort Lee's ace today, Greenberg playing right field. Brief meeting on the mound, and now Castro set to deal to Dorcom. Lofted to shallow center. Barely moving is the center fielder, Gene Vasquez. And so Stephen Kim reaches, gets all the way to third, but is stranded. We'll head to the second inning, knotted up at 0. We head to the top of the second inning, and after Dorcom strikes out with a runner on third, or rather flies out with a runner on third and 2 out, he will deal with the opposite pitcher. This one is grounded to third. That's a foul ball off the bat of Wellington Castro Jr. So both pitchers threw one scoreless inning with one strikeout, no hits allowed by either one of them yet. Making sure everyone on Fort Lee is okay. It looks like Stephen Kim is going to be all right as he mans the hot corner today. Stephen Kim often playing second base for Fort Lee. Looks like we're going to have that be ruled a fair ball. So a hit for Castro. They have him hung up now. Is he going to get out of the pickle? No, he will not. So consider him reaching on a hit and then getting picked off on the bases. Luke Senator has been known to cut down a base runner or two in his day. So it's a 1-0 count on the number 5 batter, Gene Vasquez, and there is one away with nobody on. Ground ball to first. Sango will handle that one himself, and just like that, there are 2 away. So an odd sequence there. But again, 2 away, nobody on, and that will bring up Uris Espinal, the left fielder for Shabazz. Does not go for that offering. And it's a 1-0 count. Espinal, the left fielder today, and number 6 batter for the Bulldogs. Ahead in the count, 2-0. And Dorcom deals high. Four-pitch walk to Espinal, and so he will be the second base runner for the Bulldogs. That will bring up Carlos Acosta, their first baseman. Acosta, number 2, batting 7th this morning. Runner not going, perhaps unsurprisingly, but that is a 5th straight pitch out of the zone for Dorcom. That one is swung on and missed. Make it a 1-1 count on the Malcolm Shabazz first baseman. Takes inside. Backs up off the plate a little bit. Ahead in the count, 2-1. Top of the second inning. Still scoreless here at the Sugarman Sport Complex. Tapped foul. Count levels at 2-2. Dorcom a strike away from getting through 2 scoreless innings. And then in the bottom of the second inning, it will be Jacob Greenberg, Luke Kim, and Nico Sango for Fort Lee. Runner going, pitches outside. Runner went back to first. And he'll be safe unless Nico Sango pulls the hidden ball trick here. No, he didn't. He does get it back to Dorcom. So ultimately, nothing changes there. Just a ball. So it's a 3-2 count with 2 outs. Runner should be going again. He is, and that is called strike 3. Acosta thought it was a bit inside. Home plate umpire rang him up. We'll go to the bottom of the second inning, tied 0-0 here in Fort Lee. We head to the bottom of the second inning. First pitch is swung on and missed as Jacob Greenberg is out in front of Castro's first offering. Greenberg hitting .214 on the season, 0 home runs, 5 RBI through 5 team games. As he lines that one up the middle on a few hops, Aracena throws him out. Score that 6-3, and there's one away. And that'll bring up Luke Kim, number 20. Looking for his first run batted in of the season. Can only get it here if he hits a home run, but hitting .444 in the early going for Pete Kraljick's squad. Again, all stats courtesy of NJ.com. Castro deals. Called strike on the outside corner. The 0-1 is low. Luke Kim, one of 4 Bridgemen in the starting lineup today, hitting over .400 on the young season. Laces that one down the left field line. It's a fair ball. It's going to go for extra bases. He's not going to stop at second base. Heading for third and sliding in there safely is Luke Kim. It'll be a 1-out triple. A good throw from Aracena, the cutoff man, might have had him, but he kind of bounced it to third, and Kim winds up with a triple. Man on third, one away for Nico Sango. Shabazz brings the infield in, interestingly, and Sango takes a ball low. Nico hitting .111 on the season, but a crazy on-base percentage because much like last year, he's been a ball magnet. Led the team in hit by pitches last year, leads the team in hit by pitches so far this year. He fouls that one off. 1-1 count. 1 RBI so far on the year for Sango. Great opportunity here for another one. Luke Kim with the 1-out triple. Sango and then Marrero is on deck. And that pitch is outside. Count goes to 2-1 as the pitch is handled by Eddie Vasquez. Obviously, he has to be careful. If a ball gets too far away from him, Kim could scamper home. This one is grounded to third on a few hops. The long throw cannot be picked. Nowhere for Luke Kim to go with the third baseman fielding it, but he'll get to stay put, and Sango will be safe on the E5. So an error on the third baseman, Gunby, and that'll put runners at the corners with one out in a way that could help the Bulldogs if they're able to get a ground ball here, because now a double play would end the inning. That's pretty much all Jeremiah Marrero has to avoid right now. Marrero, Pete Kraljich's number 8 hitter, hitting .250 on the young season as he plays second base today. Meeting on the mound, and then it will be Castro versus Marrero. Fort Lee offense absolutely raked in 2 games against Dwight Morrow. They were cooled off a little bit by Westwood with a 9-4 loss yesterday. Offense looking to get back in a groove here on a sunny Saturday morning. Castro looking to get what could potentially be an inning-ending double play. That's almost as good. Popped in the air. Infield fly rule should have been called. Either way, it's handled by Aracena. Score that F6, and there are now 2 away. The infielders can back up. So Marrero pops out on the first pitch, and that will bring up the number 9 hitter, the left-handed swinging Gabriel Lasval. Number 5, playing left field today. Operated in a bench role last year. He's gotten more playing time here in the early going in 2026. Sango, with a delayed steal, give him a stolen base. Now the only play is to first, and also a base hit probably drives in 2 runs. Lasval takes low. 2 RBI so far on the year for Gabriel Lasval. 2 runners in scoring position. Outfield playing way, way, way in, my goodness. Infield playing at pretty much normal depth. Although Gunby is pretty far in at third. Well, no, I guess not really. Grounded to second. Bobbled a little bit, but ultimately handled by Miguel Segura. And so for the second inning in a row, Castro, working with at least 1 runner in scoring position, gets out of a jam. We'll head to the third inning, tied at 0 here at the Sugarman Sport Complex. Tommy Aquilina back here with you for the third inning. Number 3, Jack Dorcom, threw 2 scoreless for Fort Lee, and he deals a called strike. to Miguel Segura. Handled that ground ball last inning to end the inning and the threat and keep us tied at 0. Here he takes inside, so it's a 1-1 count on the Bulldogs second baseman and number 8 hitter. Segura, Mike, and then Aracena, as we'll go back to the top of the order. It'll probably be with at least one out. Oh, maybe not. That's going to be an error on Stephen Kim. Taking advantage and sliding into second is Segura. That'll be an E5, a 2-base error. Sango not quite tall enough to handle that high throw. So again, that's an E5, runner on second with nobody out. And Dorcom will deal with Akeem Mike. Takes a called strike after showing bunt. That was a pretty decent pitch to bunt. I wonder if they keep it on here on an 0-1 count. The left-handed hitting Mike gets the instructions from his third base coach. He is still going to try to lay one down, and here he takes outside. Count will go to 1-1. Top of the order coming up. Mike got a perfect pitch to bunt on, and he let it go by. 1-2 count. I wonder if they keep the bunt on now with 2 strikes. They do. Called strike 3. The umpire did think about it ever so briefly, but honestly, I think if he wasn't bending down to bunt, that would have been right in Mike's strike zone. So that is a third looking strikeout for Dorcom. Back to the top of the order. And Aracena takes high. He grounded out to third his first time up. Runner on second with one away for Aracena, the leadoff hitter and shortstop, and he fouls that one away. 1-1 count with a runner on second. Gunby, Acosta, and now Mike, all strikeout victims, all 3 of them looking. The 1-1 is grounded up the middle. No one's going to get to it. CJ Senator, playing pretty shallow center, gets to it right as Segura was getting to third base, so he'll stay right there. Runners on the corners with one away for the Bulldogs. Single for Aracena. And that will bring up Gunby. Middle infielders at double play depth for Fort Lee. This one is lined into left center field. That's a base hit, and the Bulldogs have the lead. Going to third is the runner. He is out. Right now, he's staying down. It is an RBI single for Gunby. They did get Aracena. Segura scores. Gunby stays at first on the play. So 2 away, runner on first, 1-0 lead for Shabazz. I believe you score that 8-5 on the play that saw Aracena get thrown out trying to go first to third. This one is grounded past Kim at third into left field. A single for Eddie Vasquez. That's 3 straight base hits for the Bulldogs. And I think that might do it for Jack Dorcom. And in fact, it will. So again, a third straight single, and Jack Dorkham's first start of the 2025-26 school year will end after 2 2/3 innings. I will step aside briefly and come back with the rest of the third inning. 2 on, 2 out for Shabazz. Tommy Aquilina back here with you as Ryan Park has taken the mound, and he deals a swinging strike to Castro. So Dorkham was looking good. All of a sudden, he's out of the game. Fort Lee trails 1-0, and that pitch is dropped in there for a strike. Park, a 0 ERA and 5 strikeouts in an inning and 2/3 of work so far this season. Looking to get a huge out here and get the Bridgemen out of the top of the third. Grounded to short. Luke Kim flips to second, and that will, in fact, end the top of the third inning. But Shabazz takes the lead. Fort Lee will look to come back in the bottom of the third. They trail 1-0. One time through the Fort Lee order, the Bridgemen have not scored, and they trail Shabazz 1-0. Castro still on the mound for the Bulldogs as we head to the bottom of the third inning. Stephen Kim was hit by a pitch and stole a base, and he fouls this one off here in his second plate appearance of the morning. Castro set to deal the 0-1. This one is lofted into very shallow outfield play. Is it caught? It is. That was Segura at second base. I don't know if you want to call that a soft line out or a pop out, but either way, Kim is retired. That'll bring up Luke Senator, a .667 batting average heading into today. And he takes outside. Luke Senator, one of Fort Lee's better hitters last year. He's been one of Fort Lee's better hitters so far this spring, as he takes another pitch outside. The Bridgemen have been willing to take their walks so far this year. Lasval, Luke Senator, a couple guys in particular. Also, of course, Nico Sango is an on-base machine. There's a called strike and a 2-1 count on Luke Senator. His brother CJ is on deck, and then even though Dorcom is no longer on the mound, I believe he is still going to be batting fourth. Luke Senator is plunked on the 2-1 pitch. So he will reach second hit batter of the day for Castro. He's struck out 1, has not walked a batter, but he's now hit 2. And that will bring up CJ Senator with a runner on first and 1 gone. A little bit low. 1-0 the count on CJ Senator. He was that lone strikeout victim the first time through the lineup, and then the Bulldogs completed the 2-3 putout as we have a throw over to first. CJ Senator, 11 runs batted in on the season coming into this one. Only 5 games into the young year. Another throw over. Shabazz pays a lot of attention, or at least Castro individually does, to runners on the bases. And Gene Vasquez is still playing a very shallow center field. Runner is going. Ball is tapped down the left field line, foul. It'll be a 1-1 count on CJ Senator. I don't think Luke was going, but he is checked on by the pitcher. Now he's going. Pitch is low, and Luke Senator is in there standing up. So he's in scoring position with 1 away and a 2-1 count on the younger Senator brother. Lined right to Aracena. He can't make the play. Good job getting a glove on it. That prevented Luke Senator from going anywhere, but that is, to me, a hit. for CJ Senator. I guess you could say an infield single. So I have Luke Senator at 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch, and I have CJ at 1 for 2, and that will in fact bring up Dorcom. 0 for 1, no longer in the game on the mound. Both runners are going. Both runners are going to be safe. Double steal for the Senator brothers. They are not afraid to go, them specifically, but Fort Lee in general likes to run as a team. Now 2 runners in scoring position. Dorcom has 3 RBI this year, and he takes outside. Infield is in for the Bulldogs. And Dorcom takes low. A hit here for Dorcom would make him no longer the pitcher of record. He is currently on the hook for the loss. He winds up allowing 1 run in 2 2/3 innings. As time is called, no pitch will be delivered here. Showing bunt and taking strike 1, I believe, is Dorcom. Not bunting here. Swinging and missing is Dorcom. 2 strikes now on the Fort Lee batter. 1 away, runners on second and third. Fort Lee is trailing 1-0. Castro deals. High, and that's ball 4. The first pitch, where the Senator brothers both stole, was out of the zone, so that makes 4 balls. And there is now 1 away with the bases loaded. Huge opportunity here for the Bridgemen. First, it'll be Jacob Greenberg getting a crack at it with the bases loaded. Greenberg, a ground out to short his first time up. He takes called strike 1. 5 RBI in 5 games for the Fort Lee pitcher and outfielder. Quickly down in the count, 0-2. Luke Kim is on deck. Castro gets the sign and set to deal the 0-2. Little upstairs. That one's outside, so it's a 2-2 count. Obviously nowhere to put Greenberg. Castro deals. Called strike 3. Dropped a curveball in there, just catching the outside part of the plate. Beautiful pitch. Second strikeout for Castro. Big spot for it, and that will bring up Luke Kim. His triple back in the second inning was Fort Lee's only hit until this inning. Luke Senator hit by a pitch, CJ Senator a line drive that I'll call a single, and then Jack Dorcom with a walk. Bases loaded, 2 out now. And after Castro strikes out Greenberg, the bases are loaded with 2 outs. Critical spot in this game. Strike 1 to Luke Kim. And Castro deals upstairs, ball 1. Grounded down the line, that is a foul ball. That close Fort Lee was to taking the lead. So it should be a 1-2 count, I believe, on Luke Kim. And Castro to deal. Low. Good job by Eddie Vasquez not letting the ball go anywhere. Bases juiced for Luke Kim. Castro deals. Called strike 3. 2 looking strikeouts with the bases loaded for Wellington Castro. What a job, and we'll head to the 4th inning with Fort Lee trailing 1-0. To the 4th we go. You are watching the Fort Lee Bridgemen Athletics stream, now streaming in HD, as Ryan Park is still out there, and he deals a strike to the first batter of the top of the 4th inning. That's Gene Vasquez. And he swings over the top of strike 2. Park's 0-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Pretty much right down the pipe, and Vasquez is 0 for 2 as he's gone looking. That'll bring up Uris Espinal, the left fielder today. He walked in what wound up being his only plate appearance against Dorcom. and he grounds this one foul. That one is low and outside from Park. A 0 ERA on the season so far. Didn't allow any more damage in the top of the third. Now out there looking to get through the fourth inning. And he deals a strike there. 1-2 on Espinal. His walk was the only one handed out by Dorcom, who struck out 3. Allows 1 run in 2 2/3 innings of work. Park. Little check swing on 1 hop. Luke Kim will handle that one. Score that 6-3. And that'll bring up Carlos Acosta. The Shabazz first baseman hitting 7th today. Check swing, he went. Struck out looking his first time up. Park's 0-1. Drops it in there for strike 2. Park looking for a 1-2-3 fourth inning. And he's going to have it. Luke Senator completes the 2-3 play. 2 strikeouts for Ryan Park. He's retired all 4 batters he's faced today. We are halfway through this one. Want to take a moment to thank our proud Fort Lee Bridgemen Athletics sponsors. You see them all on your screen right now. Thank you for tuning in on a Saturday morning. We, as we now head to the afternoon, we'll be right back again halfway through this one. Shabazz 1, Fort Lee 0. Halfway through, and it's been a pitching duel so far as Nico Sango takes ball 1. Wellington Castro Jr. still out there. He is through 3 scoreless. Shabazz leading Fort Lee 1-0 as Sango fouls that one off. 1-1 count on the Fort Lee first baseman. Reached on a throwing error by the third baseman, and then stole a base his first time up. So he takes high, making it a 2-1 count, as Nico Sango is 0 for 1. Bottom third of the Fort Lee order, Sango, Marrero, and Lasval. Castro's 2-1 pitch. Fouled off. Fort Lee looking to improve to 5-1 on the season. They are 2-0 so far at home. Castro deals. Swing and a miss. That's three straight strikeouts for Wellington Castro Jr. So Sango will sit, and that will bring up Ryan Park, hitting for Marrero. Park fouls off the first pitch. So Marrero, I believe, is still at second base. But Dorcom is also still in the lineup, and Park has taken Marrero's spot in the order. Marrero, 0 for 1. And Park takes strike 2. Time is called by Eddie Vasquez. You don't want to break up your pitcher's rhythm when he's going the way that Castro is going. Again, he has struck out 3 in a row and ahead of Park 0-2. It's a brief conversation, though. Lined over the head of the third baseman and into left field for a base hit. So Ryan Park with a single. He will get pinch run for, and that will bring up Gabe Lasval with 1 on and 1 out. Let's see if Pete Kraljic has his pinch runner try to steal. Unsurprisingly, Castro throws over, thinking the same way. Lasval shows bunt. Lasval drops bunt. They go to first. Score that 2-3. Runners going to third. Oh, no. They cover. They cannot get the out. It was a pretty good throw. Ball honestly might have come out on the slide. Either way, you can score that, a sac bunt for Lasval. Does the job of moving the runner over, actually moves the runner over from first, not to second, but to third, but there are now 2 outs. We do go to the top of the order. It's Stephen Kim playing third base today for Fort Lee. 0 for 1 and hit by a pitch. First pitch swinging into left. It's a base hit. We're tied at 1. Ball is going to keep on rolling. Kim rounding second. Kim heading to third. And he's in there with a game-tying triple here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Stephen Kim has been one of Fort Lee's best hitters here in the early going this year. That continues. The RBI triple ties us at 1. He has 11 runs batted in on the season. He's also the go-ahead run, just 90 feet away from home plate. As Luke Senator, another one of Fort Lee's best hitters on the year, takes ball 1. Castro's 1-0 to Senator. Strike one on the inside corner. That was a pinch runner for Park, who scored. It's a game-tying triple for Stephen Kim. Can Luke Senator give the Bridgemen the lead? He calls time. Castro deals outside. Go ahead run at third base. Called strike. Levels the count at 2-2. There are 2 outs, which is why the infield is playing at normal depth. Just a little bit low. Home plate umpire almost rang up Luke Senator. Instead, we have a full count with 2 outs and the go-ahead run at third base. The Shabazz righty deals. Ball 4 upstairs. So Luke Senator has reached twice in 3 plate appearances. A hit by pitch, now a walk. He will get pinch run for, and CJ Senator will step up to the plate. 1 for 2 with 2 on and 2 out. A long set, and now Castro deals. Strike one. Stolen base for the pinch runner. So 2 runners in scoring position for CJ Senator. Now tied for the team lead with 11 RBI. Tied with Stephen Kim, who's at third base. Luke Senator's pinch runner is at second, and it's an 0-2 count on CJ Senator. Castro gets the sign and deals. Ball 1. Senator stays alive. The Bridgemen have come back to tie it. They are looking to take the lead. They've had runners in scoring position and all over the bases all game long, but they've only pushed across 1 so far. Castro's 1-2. Sent in the air, fairly deep right center. Play is made out in right field by Akeem Mike. We'll head to the 5th inning, tied at 1. Tommy Aquilina welcoming you back to the Sugarman Sport Complex. Fort Lee now tied with Shabazz 1-1. Ryan Park is still out there and still dealing strikes. Strike one to Miguel Segura. 8-9-1 in the Shabazz order here in the fifth inning. Tapped foul by Segura. He reached on an error by Stephen Kim, playing third base today. Segura reached on an E5 and scored the lone run of the game for Shabazz. Fort Lee tied it in the bottom of the fourth. Ryan Park still out there, and he deals. Called strike three. Clips the inside corner. Another backwards K here at the Sugarman Sport Complex. Third strikeout for Park, and that will bring up Akeem Mike. Recording the putout to finish off that fourth inning. And the lefty batter now has a 1-0 count. He struck out his first time up. That was against Dorcom. A little bit high there. 2-0 count on Mike. And then Aracena on deck. There's ball three. Strike one is right down the middle from Park. So it is a 3-1 count. Nobody on, one out here in the top of the fifth inning. Inside, ball four to Mike. He'll jog to first base, one on and one out for the top of the Shabazz order. Aracena was thrown out on the bases, but he's 1 for 2. Let's see if Shabazz decides to push the envelope. Mike not going. Pitch is fouled off, I believe. Whether it was missed entirely or fouled off, it is an 0-1 count. Park checks on the runner and deals a ball to Aracena. One the count, runner not going anywhere. Pitch is tapped foul, so it's a 1-2 count. Park will deal the 1-2. Runner stopped after starting, and that pitch is strike three. Not sure if Aracena tipped it or not, but Luke Senator held on. That is a swinging strikeout for Aracena, and with 2 gone and 1 on, Sean Gunby will step to the plate. A backwards K his first time up, and then an RBI single his second time up. That gave Shabazz the lead. It's now 1-1, and here Gunby will reach on a hit by pitch. Park clips him, and so Gunby 1 for 2 with a hit by pitch, 2 on, 2 out, and that will bring up the catcher Eddie Vasquez. The catcher, a number 3 hitter for the Bulldogs. He is 1 for 2. Luke Senator and Ryan Park will confer. The batter and base runners will also go talk to their third base coach. Another huge spot in this game. Runs have been at a premium, but both teams have had their opportunities with guys on base. Jack Dorcom is off the hook in terms of getting the loss. He'll come away with a no decision in his first start of the year. As of right now, Castro is still in the game. And Park, the first guy out of Pete Kraljic's bullpen, looking to get out of the fifth inning. I don't see anybody warming for the Bulldogs, so I think we're going to see Castro start the bottom of the fifth. Will he have a lead, or will we still be tied? Park drops a strike in there. The 0-1 pitch. Grounded to short. Backhanding it and going the short way is Luke Kim, and we will head to the bottom of the fifth inning. Knotted up at 1. Will Fort Lee be able to take the lead? We will see momentarily. Wellington Castro Jr. still out there for Malcolm Shabazz. This one is sent to the outfield. It is going to split the outfielders. It'll roll to the fence. This is Jack Dorcom rounding second, not stopping. The throw to third. Gets by the third baseman. Dorcom will stay there. It is a leadoff triple for Dorcom. First pitch swinging, Dorcom triples. That is the third triple of the day for the Bridgemen. One for Luke Kim, a game-tying triple for Stephen Kim, and a leadoff triple here for Dorcom. The first Bridgeman with a crack at giving Fort Lee the lead is going to be Greenberg, with the infield in. Greenberg is 0 for 2. And Greenberg takes high and tight. Dorcom now 1 for 2 with a walk. Greenberg hitting 5th today. Fouls that one off. He's 0 for 2, and then Luke Kim on deck 1 for 2 with that triple. A lot of power on display so far this year from the Bridgemen. Stephen Kim and Luke Senator with a home run each. 3 triples just today. CJ Senator, all kinds of extra base hits this year. Now maybe one for Greenberg. Sent to right. It falls untouched, but it falls foul. It'll be a 1-1 count on Greenberg. Now it's a 1-2 count on Greenberg. Inside. A strikeout or a pop-up here would be huge for Castro. Although it doesn't look like Shabazz wants to trade a run for an out. Anything on the ground, they're probably going to try to go home with it. That's inside, so the count will go full. Greenberg battling. Castro's 3-2. Ball 4. Good stop there by Eddie Vasquez, so Dorcom will remain at third base. But there's now a couple runners on for Fort Lee, and I would imagine Greenberg is going to be looking to advance to second. That was the third walk handed out by Castro. Now he's got to deal with Luke Kim with runners on the corners. Middle infield at double play depth, so I guess they would trade 2 outs for 1 run. Another throw over to first. With a runner on third, you need to be very careful with those. Just a step off here. Luke Kim looking for his first RBI of the season. Came in hitting .444. He's 1 for 2 today, so that average has gone up. Runner not going. Ground ball to short. They're going to get 1 out. Now they're going to go home. Dorcom didn't go home right away, but he will score the go-ahead run. Score that 6-3. It's a go-ahead RBI ground out for Luke Kim. And Greenberg will advance to second. So there's a runner on second with 1 out. Dorcom with a run scored. Luke Kim with a run batted in. And now with Greenberg on second, it's Nico Sango. 0 for 2 with a stolen base today. Fort Lee leads for the first time today, 2-1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. They're looking for more. Ball to Nico Sango. Infield playing more or less straight up. Outfield still playing very shallow. Greenberg going. Greenberg is caught up. They have him in a pickle. Can they finish it off? Yes, they can. Castro dives after Greenberg. I don't know how you score that, depending on exactly who touched the ball. But good work there by Shabazz. They get the runner in a pickle, and they end up filling out the string and making the play. So Greenberg is erased. 2 out. So a triple for Dorcom, a walk for Greenberg, and then an RBI ground out for Luke Kim. Greenberg advanced to third, but he gets picked off there. So only 3 batters, a run in, and 2 outs. Fort Lee leads 2-1. And it should now be a 1-2 count, I believe, on Sango. That one is fouled off. So this one remains tight, but Fort Lee does have the lead for the first time today. If they hold on, Ryan Park would be in line for the win. As Sango with another foul ball. Sango reaching on an error his first time up. He stole a base, and then he struck out swinging his last time up. Takes a ball inside there. 2-2 count with 2 outs and nobody on. Grounded in the hole for a base hit. In between short and third, Sango is 1 for 3. And that will bring up Marrero for his second plate appearance of the day. Did I say Marrero? I meant to say Park. Park hitting for Marrero. He singled his first time up, and then his pinch runner scored. Ball low with 2 outs and a runner on first for the Bridgemen. Park hitting here leads me to believe he's probably going to take the mound again for the top of the 6th. One the count. Castro sets and throws over to first. Wind's starting to pick up a little bit here at the Sugarman Sport Complex. Castro deals. Too far inside. Got a piece of Park. And so there will be 2 on and 2 out for Fort Lee's number 9 batter, Gabriel Lasval. 0 for 1, so no hits today, but 1 sacrifice hit his last time up. That actually allowed a runner to advance from first to third. And then Stephen Kim tied the game with an RBI triple. Fort Lee now leads 2-1, and that might be all she wrote for Castro on the mound. Huddle still has yet to be broken. Shabazz trailing 2-1. They enter play today 5-4 on the year. Fort Lee 4-1. This is a lengthy meeting on the mound. So it's a new pitcher in Sean Gunby. Previously playing third base, Gunby now on the mound in a little bit of a tight spot. Shabazz trailing by 1, 2 on, 2 out, and Gunby pours a strike in there to Gabe Lasval. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Gunby's 0-2 pitch is high. 1-2. After Castro goes 4 2/3 innings. He is responsible for the 2 runners on base. If they don't score, that'd be a pretty solid outing for the right-hander. Fouled off. Right now, Park in line for the win. Castro on the hook for the loss for Shabazz, but there is lots of baseball left to be played. 2-1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Lasval looking to help the Bridgemen extend their lead to multiple runs. Gunby deals, and we have another foul ball. Drilled into right, over Mike's head, off the fence. Runners going on contact with 2 outs. Lasval rounding second. Lasval has himself a 2-run stand-up triple, and Fort Lee doubles their lead. They actually triple it from 2-1 to 4-1. Biggest hit of the year so far for Lasval, a 2-run triple with 2 outs. An absolute backbreaker, and now with a runner on third, the top of the Fort Lee order comes up. Check swing 0-1 on Stephen Kim, who is 1 for 2 with a triple, an RBI, a hit by pitch, and a stolen base. Took a little while, but the Fort Lee offense has broken through. 4 triples today for the Bridgemen. This one is tapped to third. Is the play completed? No, it's not. E5 allows a run to score. No RBI there for Kim because that would have been the 3rd out, but he will reach, and that is a run scored for Lasval. "5-1 now. Fort Lee leading this one in the 5th inning. Luke Senator, 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch and a walk. Gunby, like Castro, with a preference for throwing over with runners on base. Senator, not only a hit by pitch and a walk, he has stolen 2 bases today. Fort Lee leads by 4. Runner is going. That throw is into center field. Good backup by Segura, but it is a stolen base for Stephen Kim, his 2nd of the day. His 1st of the afternoon. About 1:45 here on a sunny, if not slightly chilly, Saturday. The Bridgemen have broken out offensively, and they now lead this one 5-1. They're looking for more. Luke Senator takes a called strike at the knees. That one is low. That one is also low, and that will allow Kim to scamper to third base. Now a 3-1 count on Senator, with a runner on third. Still 2 outs. Drilled foul down the left field line. It'll be a full count with 2 outs and a runner on third. And that's ball 4. Third time today Luke Senator has reached without the benefit of a hit. So now it's CJ Senator with runners on the corners and 2 gone. CJ is 1 for 3 with a stolen base. Hitting third in the Fort Lee order today. Runner on first is going. He'll have to go back as CJ Senator fouls that one off. Fort Lee has batted around. Senator, the 9th batter to come to the plate this inning. Jack Dorcom led things off with a triple, and the Bridgemen have been off to the races from there. 4 runs to take a 5-1 lead. This is a fair ball sent to first base. I believe that ball stayed in play as the play was made. Score that F3. CJ Senator makes the final out of the 5th, but not before the Bridgemen add 4 runs. They will take a 4-run advantage to the 6th inning, and Ryan Kim will still be on the mound, make that Ryan Park. He will still be on the mound, looking to hold on to the lead for the Bridgemen. So Ryan Park now pitching with a lead as we head to the top of the 6th inning, dealing with the starting pitcher for Shabazz. Castro on the hook for the loss. First pitch swinging, lofts it to left. Play is made by Lasval coming on. Not the easiest play ever there, but Lasval handled it. 1 pitch, 1 out. Castro is 1 for 3. and Shabazz is now down to their last 5 outs. That'll bring up Gene Vasquez. 0 for 2 with a strikeout. 4-5-6 in the Shabazz order. They took a 1-0 lead. They now trail 5-1. Dropping in a strike is Ryan Park. Two and a third innings, now 2 2/3 innings of work for Park, as this one is grounded to third. 3 innings for Ryan Park. 2 gone here in the top of the 6th inning. Score that last play 5-3 rather. And that'll bring up Espinal, 0 for 1 with a walk. Park deals 0-1. Park working in relief, looking for his first win of the season. Luke Kim has 1 win and 1 save so far this year. Bradley Lee has 1 win. Jacob Greenberg has a win. And Dylan Toribio has 1 win as well for the Bridgemen. It's a 1-1 count for Park to Espinal. Over his head, over his bat. Didn't hit him. That's ball 2. Ryan Park deals. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Park looking for a 1-2-3 6th inning. Which would be a statement after the lengthy last half inning that Fort Lee just put up. Swing and a miss. Espinal nowhere near that offering from Park. We are through 5.5. The Bridgemen, 3 outs away from a win. First, they're going to try to expand their lead in the bottom of the 6th. You see our proud Fort Lee Bridgemen Athletics sponsors on your screen now. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you for tuning in on a nice weekend morning into afternoon. The Bridgemen looking to hold on to a 5-1 lead over Shabazz. Tommy Aquilina back here with you for the bottom of the 6th inning. Gunby is still on the mound for Shabazz, and he deals a swinging strike to Jack Dorcom. Dorcom started this one on the mound for Fort Lee, only allowed 1 run in 2 2/3 innings of work. His leadoff triple got things started last half inning for the Bridgemen. They went on to put up a 4 spot and take a 5-1 lead, which they will bring into the 7th inning. If they don't score here, they are looking to extend here. Dorcom leading off for a second straight inning. He is 1 for 3 with a triple, a walk, and 1 run scored. Grounds this one to short. Aracena throws Dorcom out, so he is 1 for 3. 1 for 3 with a triple, a walk, and a run. And that'll bring up Jacob Greenberg. 0 for 2 with 1 walk. Greenberg has started 2 games for the Bridgemen as a pitcher. Started this one in right. This one gets past the Shabazz third baseman. We'll see how that's scored. I'm going to mark it down as a single for Greenberg. Either way, he's on first with 1 gone, and that will bring up Luke Kim for Fort Lee. A go-ahead RBI ground out last inning to drive in Dorcom. So right now, Kim is set to have the game-winning RBI. He's 1 for 3 with 1 RBI and 1 triple. Greenberg leading off first. Gunby dealing, sent in the air to left. Pretty deep left, over the outfielder's head. Greenberg will round third. Greenberg will score. It is an RBI double for Luke Kim. Second extra base hit of the day, second RBI of the day. 5-run lead for the Bridgemen. The Fort Lee offense, a little quiet between their last game and the first 4 innings or so of this one. They have certainly come alive here in the late innings today. Strike 1 to Nico Sango. A runner still in scoring position. Now it's Luke Kim leading off second. Sango is 1 for 3 with a stolen base and a run scored. That one gets by Eddie Vasquez behind the plate. That will be a wild pitch. Luke Kim scampers to third. I guess if Fort Lee puts up 5 runs here, they could end it here in the 6th. Runner on third with 1 away. The pitch to Sango. Swung on and missed. Big swing there from number 8 on Fort Lee. Gunby, the second pitcher for Shabazz. It would not be a Fort Lee game if Nico Sango did not get plunked. It's amazing how often he gets hit by pitches. It's got to be frustrating, but it gets the on-base percentage up there. So Sango is plunked. He's reached base safely twice today. And the Bridgemen now have runners on the corners with 1 away. This is Ryan Park hitting for a 3rd time today. Jeremiah Marrero was 0 for 1. Park is 1 for 1 with a hit by pitch, and he sends this one to center field. I don't know if Sango knew how many outs there were. Tagging and scoring is the lead runner, but they're going to double up Sango. Wow. So that is a sac fly, double play, but the run does score before the last out. So it is a double play, but it is also an RBI for Park. Wow, very interesting. It's 7-1 Fort Lee, and I will be right back for the 7th inning. We are back here at the Sugarman Sport Complex. Tommy Aquilina here with you as you watch the Fort Lee Bridgemen Athletics stream in HD. That is a called strike, I believe, from Stephen Kim, out for the 7th inning. He is the third Fort Lee pitcher. There's a strike. What an outing from Ryan Park. He is set to get the win if Fort Lee can get 3 outs before they give up 6 runs. That'll help. First pitch was a ball. That's my bad. So now it's a 1-2 count because the batter definitely went around there. This is Acosta hitting for a 3rd time today. I like that. You go way inside, then you go outside. Missed the outside corner, though, so it's a 2-2 count. Stephen Kim starting this one at 3rd base, now on the mound for the Bridgemen. And that is a high arcing curveball that does not come down, so it's a full count. Acosta, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. 7-8-9 in the Shabazz order. Called strike 3 right down the pipe. 3-2 leading off an inning. I don't know how you let that one go, but Acosta does. He has the bad kind of hat trick, striking out 3 times today. Here is Segura. Reached on an error and struck out. Segura scored the only Shabazz run. Takes a strike here. Fort Lee up by 6. This is not a save situation for Stephen Kim. But now he is filling up the strike zone. And working quickly. That one's outside. Swing and a miss. Blows it by Segura. 2 gone here in the 7th. Fort Lee pitching staff racking up the strikeouts today. 10 of them now. And the last 3 batters have all struck out for Shabazz. Here's Akeem Mike, the number 9 batter. No contact day for him, with 1 strikeout and 1 walk. Down in the count 0-1. As Stephen Kim is looking to finish this one off for the Bridgemen. The Bridgemen are a strike away. That one just misses. 1-2 the count. Stephen Kim deals. Senator holds on to it. Strike 3, striking out the side in the 7th inning is Stephen Kim. So it's a comeback victory for the Bridgemen. Game was closer than the final score will look, but the final is the Bridgemen 7 and Shabazz, the Bulldogs, 1. Shabazz will fall to 5-5 on the year. The Bridgemen bounce back quickly from their loss yesterday and improve to 5-1. Want to shout out, specifically this time, our proud Fort Lee Bridgemen Athletics sponsors, the Fort Lee PBA, Cafaso's Fairway Market, The Finest Construction, the Fort Lee Soccer Club, Rusin and Doru Electric, the Bridgemen Basketball Camp, the Fort Lee VFW, Visions Federal Credit Union, It's Greek to Me, Connect One Bank, the Bergen Black Sox, Senator Builders, UCS Strength and Speed, the Collective Salon, and the Fort Lee Education Association. So many thanks to go around, our sponsors, our Fort Lee Athletic Director, Michael Raftery, Dimitri Nanis, as always. I'm Tommy Aquilina saying thank you so much for tuning in on a Saturday to see the Fort Lee Bridgemen defeat the Shabazz Bulldogs. 7-1 is your final. Do tune in next time, folks. I'm Tommy Aquilina saying have a good one.